Alright guys, welcome to this page of the notes. All I really want to point out to you guys on this page is just going to be this. We're going to look in this note set, in this section, at two very important equations. They're going to be the slope-intercept form and the point-slope form. Now, we have already talked about the slope-intercept form on the previous page, where it comes from. Right? I showed you how to derive that equation. I'll never ask you to derive it as long as you've got y equals mx plus b memorized. You're good. I'll never ask you to derive the equation, but at least now you know where it comes from. Next time you're at a party, you can say to your friends, hey, you guys want to see something cool? Go ahead and derive that equation. I guarantee you'll be taking home tons of phone numbers with you. Girls love it. So slope-intercept form, just kidding. Slope-intercept form of a line, we're going to look at that one first. After that, we're then going to go ahead and take a look at the point-slope form of a line. You can feel free to ask Mrs. Lawrence. Whenever I do math for her, all I do is put her to sleep. For some reason, she doesn't find it as interesting as I do. But anyway, feel free to give it a try. It's a great trick. So slope-intercept form of a line, and then we'll get to the point-slope form. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here talking about this because we already looked at it on the previous page, right? You now know where this equation comes from. You know it's the slope-intercept form. Let me just highlight this for you, even though you already know it. M is the slope, B is the y-intercept. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump into this. Let's do some problems. We head on over to the next page, and here we go. I want you to write the equation in slope-intercept form for the line described in each of these problems. Let's start with the first one. Please feel free to work ahead. Come on back and check your answers. Make sure you get what we get. Here we go. I have a slope of 4/3. It must pass through the point 0, 4. Okay, well, no big deal. What I've got here is I recognize I have been given the slope. That's, oh, sorry, that is my highlighter. That's not what I want. Here we go. I've been given the slope, so I'm going to need that. I know that that is m, 4/3. Now let's take a look at the point. Please notice that the point is the point 0, 4. The x value is 0. Well, anytime the x value is 0, that means you're on the y-axis. So actually what you've been given is the y-intercept. This is the y-intercept. That is the point where your line is going to cross the y-axis, right? We're going to cross the y-axis at 0, 4. So I've been given the y-intercept. So here we go. I'm all set to use my equation. Y equals mx plus b. Plug in what you know. Y is equal to my slope. Well, that's 4/3. X plus my y-intercept, or b. It was given to me. It's 4. And I have my equation in slope-intercept form. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's try the next one. All right, here we go. In this one, it looks like not quite as easy because I recognize I've just been given 2 points. This time I've not been given a slope, but aha, I do recognize this point right here. Again, the x value is 0, which means that this one does represent my y-intercept. So that at least saves me a little bit of time. Awesome. So there's my y-intercept. So that means all I need to do is just go ahead and quickly calculate the slope of a line between these 2 points. We can do that. We did it in the last section. So here we go. M is going to be equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let me fix my y. Okay. Again, order doesn't matter. We looked at that when we were talking about slope. Doesn't matter which point you make x1, y1, which point you make x2, y2. You're going to get the same answer either way. So let me just do it this way. I'm going to do 10, watch your minus signs, minus a -6 all over -4 minus 0. Looks like I'm going to come out with 16 divided by a -4, which I believe is a minus 4. Should be a minus 4. All right, let's go ahead. Now I have everything I need. I now know the slope. I now know the y-intercept. Plug it into the equation. Y equals mx plus b. And we plug in what we know. Y is equal to a negative 4x, where that is my slope. B is my y-intercept, which they actually gave me. It is a negative 6, so minus 6. And we've got ourselves our equation in slope-intercept form. Fantastic, cuckoo, cuckoo, just like that. Let's try another one. All right, in this one, trickier yet. I recognize they've given me 2 points, which means I don't have a slope. But then upon closer inspection, I also recognize neither of those are my y-intercept. Holy cow, I got to do it all myself. All right, here we go. Let's find the slope first. Again, order doesn't matter. You can plug these in any way you want to. You're going to get the same answer. I'm going to do minus 3 minus 7 for my y's. And I'm going to do 3 minus a negative 2. Watch your signs. And what we wind up with when I add the opposite should be a negative 10. A negative 3 minus 7, add the opposite, negative 10, over a positive 5, which should come out to be a negative 2. All right, so what I've done is I have now found my slope. Okay, I still don't know what the y-intercept is. And that's not quite as easy to find, all right, because I don't have a formula, right? I have a formula for finding slope. I don't have a formula for finding the y-intercept. So here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to kind of be a little sneaky here. We're going to go ahead and use the slope-intercept equation. The slope-intercept equation for a line, y equals mx plus b. Now, I already know what the slope is. I just found it. It's a negative 2. I don't know what b is, but that's okay. We're going to solve for b, and here's how we're going to do it. Pick your favorite point. Doesn't matter which one you choose. Doesn't matter. Just pick one. I now have an x value and a y value. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug a negative 3 in for y. I'm going to plug my slope in for m. I'm going to plug a positive 3 in for x. And now the only thing I don't know is b. We will solve this equation for b using one of the points you're given, and it's kind of a backdoor method to finding the intercept if you weren't given one. Here we go, let's do all that. My y is a minus 3. My slope is a negative 2. My x is a positive 3, and I still don't know b. That's what I'm solving for. Well, a little bit of quick arithmetic here. Negative 3 is equal to a negative 6 plus b. I'm going to add the 6 to the other side. Negative 3 plus 6 is equal to b, and that means that I have 3 is equal to b. Now I know what my y-intercept is. It's a positive 3. I can write my final equation. Y is equal to a negative 2x plus 3. Definitely the trickiest of the 3 when you're not given the slope and you're not given a point representing the intercept. But we can still get there by, just employing a few tricks from Algebra 2. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Thanks for joining me for this page of the notes. Head on over to the next page and we'll try a few more. I'll meet you there.